What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? And welcome back to the podcast where we think we know everything, but we really don't know shit. But we do know that the season is right around the corner, and we cannot wait to see what happens, how this offense unfolds with this new offensive coaching, this new staff. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. But the show today, we have a true legend, a true Chicago sports media legend. We've had a lot of media guys lately. And yeah, we have the media guy who's been around for a while. He's been around so long that his email address was Ameritech. I think Ameritech was around when I was born. That was like around Illinois Bell. Y'all remember that? Well, the ones from Chicago. Y'all remember that? Oh my God. That's how long he's been around. So you can imagine how much knowledge and wisdom he has to drop on us, how many people he has talked to over the years, how many legends. He also has a book. It's called Tell Me a Story I Don't Know. So there it is. That pretty much tells you I've been around for a long time. There's nothing you could tell me that I don't already know. So we're gonna have a conversation with him. Of course, we're gonna talk about the Bears. We're gonna talk about maybe some Bulls, maybe some Cubs, White Sox. They're totally irrelevant right now. I don't even know if they deserve an inkling of my time. Um, might even talk about some Hawks. I know Frank might have something to say about the Hawks right now. Um, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a great show, and of course, I'm gonna double up on the hints that I was giving about my tickets because I wasn't on last week. I was not on last week, so I will give two hints towards the tickets because the Buffalo game is coming up, but before that, the Miami game is coming up. So they're coming up soon. So I'm gonna give the hints, uh, but I'm not gonna give them right now, and I'm not gonna give the hints that I gave on the previous episodes. So if you need those, you're gonna have to go to the previous episodes. But enough of me talking. Commish, let's go.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
Watch these summer league games and they tell you about these new up and coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso, both when they are on the court, are like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
And we are back. So our guest is having technical difficulties, and I might have to go help him to get on. But before that, got to bring in my All-Star team. You know the All-Star team always has something good to say. What up, Lee? All-Star team always has something good to say. They're always ready to go. So let's start out with my man, the stat man, who knows every single stat from every single team, 80s and 90s, basketball and football. And shit, baseball too. Maybe even lacrosse, tennis. We could ask him. He know everything. My man JB.
What up,
What up,
T?
JB? What's happening, man?
Chilling, brother. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just excited for the season to finally start. But I know we still have a little ways to go.
Yeah, at least the dog days are done, though. We got something to look forward to. A little bit more news.
So they're just now getting in camp, right?
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have preseason games in August. We're gonna have, but before that, we're gonna have some practices, some open practices.
Some open practices, some joint practices. Then you always have the Hall of Fame game, which kind of like kicks off, the football season.
Right. Are you going
Hall
to
of
any
Fame.
of those? Are you going to any of those practices?
I mean, I would like to if we could
I didn't
figure out a
even
way to do it.
I didn't even attempt to get tickets, but as a season ticket holder, I get to go to some practices that ain't open to the public. Uh, and if I can bring people, then I will. Also, that family fest, that
Yes.
they give me tickets to that too. So, yeah, you all should join me in that. So that'll be great. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to turning this thing around finally. They took Ian Wheeler off the pup list.
We talked about how we wanted Ian to have a role last year, at least like on some third down. He's kind of like that. What's his name? Used to like a Jarek McKinnon type, real good on third down. I would think get in there, real good in the passing game. I would love to see. Yeah, I would love to see how he fits in with this.
Yeah, he cold, man. He's real cold. The TNL Runaway got a great question for our guest. What's the current best Chicago sports podcast? And what is the worst? I can tell you the worst. Those tools that Tummy Tuckers, Donuts, Losers. What that's an acronym for TTN. I'm not gonna say that.
Shout out to Runaway.
I'm not gonna say that. Run away, you my dude. Appreciate you, man. But let's get to our next all-star who has that hawk talk. And he may have some hawk talk today because Jonathan Taze just came back or something like that. Not to the Hawks, but he came back to the league or something like that. So I don't know. He might
wasn't he like sick, like almost like deathly sick or something?
I have no clue. When it comes to hockey and women's basketball, do not ask me. But I'm learning. I'm learning though, at least about the women's basketball. Hockey, not so much. But that's why we got my man Frank the Tank.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
What up, man?
But
How
yeah,
you doing?
gotta give props, Jonathan Tate. It wasn't a deathly virus or anything like that, but once COVID started, some people it really hit their immune system a lot harder than others. And he unfortunately was one of those people where he was like losing so much weight, he couldn't keep any food down. Like you can say it could have been deathly sick, but I mean he just couldn't get that conditioning back under control without getting sick. So, I mean, he already did make a comeback with the Blackhawks a few years back, but then he got taken off again with the exact same reasons and everything. He just couldn't make it full through even half a season. But He's giving it another run go. Yeah, it's not with the Blackhawks, but I wish him nothing but the best. Any Blackhawk fan is going to wish him nothing but the best. But, hey, other than that, yeah, training camps, everyone reported. It's exciting. It's getting there.
They reported a couple days early. You ready to go?
Yeah, I am. And I'm excited for this season. I'm still not saying playoffs, but I'm excited for the season.
I had a question for you, Tank.
Hey,
Yes.
man, I'm not saying that shit either.
Hold on, T. I got a question for you, Tank. So, if a Blackhawk, a former Blackhawk, plays for another team, we allowed to wish him the best and root for him.
And I know where you're going with this because I
Not
still
the team, the individual
wish
person,
nothing.
right?
I still wish nothing but positive things towards Justin Fields. I know where that's going. All right. I don't wish him to fail. I actually want him to do well. So people realize that he wasn't as bad as people thought about. But when you think about it, you can't compare those two. Because
Just asking. It was just a question.
You guys saw a while back when we did the show when I made that tribute for Patrick Kane when he came back to Chicago and how the United Center crowd just erupted when they lost the game. Patrick Kane scored the game-winning goal in overtime, and they gave him a standing ovation.
Was that the Red? He was with the Red Wings.
Red Wings. Yeah, that was when the Red Wings were in town. And when you're talking about Justin Fields, who I thought he could have, he should have got a team here and see what he could have done. But that was 4 years of, was there one playoff? I don't think they went to the playoffs at all with him. And you're talking about 3 Stanley Cups in 6 years with the Blackhawks with Taves and Kane. So I can't compare those two. But still, any teammate, unless I literally hated that fucking guy, I will always wish him nothing but the best. And that includes Justin Fields. Unless they're playing us.
I concur. I just wanted to make sure I knew the rules. If I'm going to play a game, I need to know the rules.
No, you're not. I knew where you were going with that. The moment you smiled and you went like this, I was just like, oh, yep, here we go.
Light bulb. Ding.
Yeah. So, hey, how are we feeling? Bears reporting. I know the Jalen Johnson things some people are saying can be concerning, but if this was mid-training camp, it'd be a little bit more concerning. But training camp officially really isn't even started yet. He's not even put on the injured list or anything. It's just time off.
Yeah, he's just considered late report. He's going to report late to training camp.
Yeah, they said he's going to be out a few weeks of training camp. And this is our number one cornerback. He's our highest paid guy, best player, one of the best players we can say. I'm not worried about something like him. Now, if it was a Caleb Williams situation, who we need to see great things from, I'd be a lot more worried about that. Because he needs all the work he can to learn this new system.
I feel personally that this training camp is going to be probably like no other because the last 3 years of Matt Eberflus, we kind of looked at training camp. It was kind of like almost tongue-in-cheek. He preached the hits principle, yet we saw no hitting. We saw no real running to the ball, although he did do pretty – as a defensive coordinator, our defense played pretty well. Justin's last season, 7-10. Last year, 5-12. Obviously not what we wanted, but I would venture to say that his defense played pretty well. And I'm just looking forward to see what the transition from a bend don't break Matt Eberflus defense transitioning into a more attacking Dennis Allen type defense.
It is a totally different defense.
Yeah, I want to see what that looks like with similar players, because obviously a lot of the players now that are on the team played in the hybrid cover 2 that he ran. And now it's basically pin years back. Let's go get everybody.
Yeah, I'll say this, though. I am extremely excited to see what they do with Kyler Gordon, with our guy Kyler, because I think he is going to be all over the place. You are going to see him on a lot of blitz packages. You're going to see a lot of him dropping out of safeties, linebacker roles. I see a lot of moving around from him, and he has the IQ to do that.
I think it's going to be a lot of settling going in because early on through rookie minicamp and OTAs, we heard a lot of really good things about Ruben Hippolyte. and how he's got that London Fletcher type vibe going on.
That is true. I mean, it's too early. They're not even in pads yet, so I'm not going to be.
No. Just the look.
Yeah.
The look.
Yeah. And I mean, they are hearing great things about him, like just in the film room and everything too, as far as just being able to read what he wants to do in these situations. So, I mean, that's good for a rookie coming in to actually feel like the coaches feel like he has like a higher IQ than most rookies should.
Absolutely. And that's always a good thing, especially when you have so much activity going on in front of you with learning a new defensive scheme, right? Obviously, the basis, the foundation, and the principles of a lot of the 4-3s are the same, but just the little intricacies. And now the difference, like people may not understand this, but the difference between having like a 6'2" lineman in front of you to now possibly having a 6'7" guys in front of you, like that changes your vision of how you're looking at where people are. Ruben I think Ruben's like 5'11"
Yeah, normal size, basic size. Actually, more shorter than expected, but
yeah, I look at that as not necessarily a detriment, just an interesting
so guys, let's get back to this, because our wonderful legendary guest has finally entered the building. As I said before, he's been around so long that he had Ameritech in his email. That was damn near when I was born.
No, it was after
That's
that.
for all you Illinois folks. But yeah, so he's been around, but he's talked to just about anybody you can think of. I'm sure he has a wealth of knowledge and I cannot wait to get into it. So write your questions down, go get some popcorn, get your beer, whatever you need. But right now, we are about to talk to the legendary Mr. George Ofman.
I love
welcome,
technology.
George. Welcome, sir.
How you doing, George?
Seriously, I love technology, don't you?
What's up, sir?
If that's an honest answer, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm fine. I haven't been around that long, but do you remember the Gettysburg Address?
Yeah.
407 years ago.
Right. I was there to take notes.
Wow.
What's happening?
You said it, and you didn't even have to say it.
So how you doing, Mr. George?
I'm doing fine. It's been, believe it or not, 5 years since I've been off the radio, and a little over, a year and a half since I wrote the book on the podcast. So I'm kind of out of the mainstream media other than social media, but I am gainfully employed still in the sports business at Midtown Athletics, where I work with the pickleball and paddleball people. So I'm still in the people business, and I love it.
Oh wow, you work at Midtown. That's isn't that like where a lot of rich people go and they play tennis?
Well, I would say that they're somewhat well-to-do. They do have 15,000 members at that particular Midtown location. They have 3 others in the suburbs and 3 others around the country, one in Montreal. So, and they've been around since 1970. And a very quick story, just to get into this really quickly, is, I knew the owner, the man who built it, Alan Schwartz, a tremendous human being, whom the last 8 years of his life, we would get together twice a year for lunch. And most of those times were at the club. Once, they basically reinvented the place and spent $85 billion to refurbish it. So I once told him that I would come work for him one day. Well, he passed away a couple of years ago, and it was sometime early last year I approached his son, and bingo, he honored it. Here I am.
So they made it happen. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So let's start off with how you got into media.
Well, it started when I was about 8.5 years old. I grew up in Albany. So we'd get as many as 15 to 20 kids in the neighborhood, and we would play at the grammar school called Hibbert Elementary School, which is still there. And they had a gravel campus. And in the summer, whenever it's warm enough, we would play rubber baseball. And I was both the second baseman and the announcer. I was Jack Brickhouse. So I kind of knew back then what I wanted to do. Kindergarten teacher once told my dad I was a busybody. And my dad looked at me and said, if talking was gold, you would be rich. Well, I wasn't rich, but he was right. And so eventually I just pursued it, eventually went to Southern Illinois University, which was at that time was one of the top broadcasting schools in the country, along with Syracuse. And as soon as I walked in the newsroom in January of 1974, I was in love, and that love lasted for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
So you've seen all kind of. Oh,
go ahead. What was that?
Go ahead, JB.
I'm saying, so you've literally seen the turn from the old print press, writing down notes, to now the radio hosting, and to now, like, literally you press a button and everything is there. How did you evolve with that, with media? Because if you're from the origin, where it's like, let me run back to the studio and get this, you had
to evolve. That's right. There was the UPI and AP machines that would just be loud and get all your print stuff. But when we were broadcasting, we would have a telephone. Does anybody know what a telephone is? You guys may know what a telephone is.
I even know what a rotary phone is.
Honestly,
I still own a rotary phone.
And anybody who might be 25 or 30 and under would not know what a telephone is. Well, this is the way we did things. How would you send an audio? You'd unscrew the receiver. You had something called alligator clips and a male that would, a plug that would plug into your recorder. And that's how you would send tape. You could then use a microphone in your recorder, and that's how you can talk and send tape. That's how it was done then. And then you got to the internet, and things were a lot smoother and different, and you had to learn. It was all a learning process. So yes, we began. When I started, we were watching in St. Louis when I was down at Carbondale, KMTV, which I believe was the first TV station to use the electronic video instead of, just regular tape that they would do, camera tape. And so that's how stuff just started to evolve even 51 years ago in television. Radio took a little longer, but listen, you had to learn on the fly to learn to adapt to the new media, which we did. And hey, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but unfortunately for our end of the business, it's shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, just like the newspapers are.
Because of AI?
No, not so much because of AI.
It's a part of it.
It's society. Newspapers have been dying for the better part of 20 plus years.
Yeah. I don't see newspapers out in front of my houses anymore.
No. And radio is shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, when I was let go at WBBM, that was during COVID. I was the first to go. Several others followed. From Jeff Joniak, who left the station, was never replaced. I wasn't replaced. Dave Kerner, who was a longtime broadcaster, retired. He wasn't replaced. And so it used to be a 6-man staff, is now a 2.5-man staff. That's the business today.
Yeah. Wow. So I had one for you. The long time that you were in journalism and broadcasting for Chicago sports, can you give me the best sports athlete in your opinion that you even followed or didn't follow? But Michael Jordan doesn't count.
Oh.
Because that's an easy answer. I can't give it. That's an easy
answer because there's no question.
Exactly. Other than Michael Jordan.
Other than Michael Jordan, that's a really good question. I would say Walter Payton is in the photo without any doubt whatsoever. I mean, he was a very unique personality, and you knew that he liked you when he would pinch your ass. And
that's sweetness right there.
I don't have a very big ass, so when he pinched me, it hurt like hell. Sweetness was that way. Patrick Kane, just a revelation to watch him play. and to be part of 3 Stanley Cups and to be in Philadelphia when I was working at WGN, to be on the ice when they won that Stanley Cup. Let's see. Other than that, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Frank Thomas, probably.
Good one.
Really, I think sometimes undervalued as one of the most extraordinary hitters in the history of baseball.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was just, the Big Hurt, who
One of
was
those big guys who were not mixed up in the steroid scandals.
Yes, no, right
was
from the
big from
beginning,
start.
right from the very beginning, and I totally begin. Listen, he was just a big guy. Okay, he was the Big Hurt, and after a while, he became the big pain in the ass. But that's another story for another.
Not all his fault, though.
What?
I said, not all his fault, though.
No. I mean, athletes other than that, I mean, I was lucky early in my career to watch Julius Erving. Dr. J was that. To have been there to watch Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, because my career began here in the city in the late 70s. So when they would come to town and just, savage the Bulls, I mean, that was just great to be part of. To watch the NBA suddenly explode, and then have Michael come into that thing. And I would think, other than that, I think there's a lot of people who tend to downplay LeBron James. And it's really unfair, honestly, to compare him to Michael Jordan.
Agreed.
He is the best player of his era.
No question.
Hands down, no question. It's truly unfair to do that. Michael is just, to me, the best ever. But don't compare that.
I hate comparing generations to begin with. Like, I mean, it's so
But
stupid.
people do that all the time anyhow, and I understand that.
Good media.
Right, but the older you get, where I'm at that stage, I can go back and look and see players, and things have changed. Equipment has changed a great deal. That it's had a profound effect on the world of sports. You name the sport, it's had a big effect. But I just don't like that. LeBron's not even the team photo with Michael. Quiet, folks. LeBron is a spectacular athlete.
No question.
And look what he's doing at age 40, for crying out loud.
That's insane.
Yeah. But I mean, this is the thing. You are talking to a few people. I don't like LeBron James. I'm not dissing his game or anything like that.
I am.
Like, he is a great basketball player.
Yes.
But my issue with him is he brings this onto himself. When he constantly always has to quote, "I am the greatest. I am the greatest to ever play the game. Nobody's ever been better than me." Like,
I'm not sure I've ever heard him say that.
Oh, he said that.
He says it a lot.
He usually says it on this little podcast that he always goes on.
Him and Steve Nash.
It's like a barbershop podcast. He used to always say that on his podcast. And that's pretty much why I feel like a lot of people don't like him anymore, because he's
Tell you what, when he wins 6 titles, okay.
Or two three-peats. Two three-peats.
Yeah,
I gotta say this to you, George, because there's two sides of the street. There's a couple people, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and them, that I feel Kobe Bryant that he has not passed before you get to Michael. But on that, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your all-time best running back in the history of the game?
Well, I mean, I still think it's Walter. And then after that, I mean, because he had such a short career, and I was very lucky to watch Gale Sayers play. It was
I think Gale could easily be up there if he could.
Wait. Keep going. Give me your top 5.
Jim Brown.
I know where you're going with this.
The Lions running back whose name just escaped me.
Barry
Sanders.
He's clearly up there, and Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson was like spectacular. So that's a pretty good group.
Yeah, and I got to throw Adrian Peterson as somewhat of the modern type running backs in there as well.
You know what you didn't say?
Go ahead.
I knew exactly where JB was going.
You didn't say a running back that played longer than all of them, got all the records and hardware. You didn't say Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, definitely in that group. There's no question.
Everybody always forgets to say his name, and me and JB always say
he's not the greatest.
He is LeBron James in football.
LeBron James is the Emmitt Smith of basketball. He's got all the records, but he's not the greatest.
Longevity stats.
Yeah, but I mean, Emmitt Smith won how many titles? Did he win? Three. Yeah.
LeBron won 3.5, we could say, with that.
Listen, that's pretty good in the day and age.
Yeah,
absolutely. We're not saying that Emmitt Smith is
or
bad.
whatever. You know?
Yeah, we're not saying he's bad, but we're saying if you want to look at one sport where the guy just played so long, he acquired all the stats.
Yep.
But you don't say he's better than somebody like a Gale Sayers who played for, 5.5 years, technically 6 seasons before the injury?
Yeah. It's different, and maybe I'm being a little biased because Gale Sayers did two things. He was a fabulous kickoff returner along with being a great running back. He was a two-pronged player.
Absolutely.
I mean, the most exciting player, is the man who scored how many touchdowns on kickoffs and punt returns?
Evan Hester.
Let me tell you something. A lot of people disagreed with me, but he should have been a first ballot Hall of Fame.
We said that too.
Absolutely. Couldn't understand that for the life of me. He changed the game. Part of what an aspect of a Hall of Famer is too, is someone who changed the game. He did, because teams started not kicking off to him. And the rules of the game changed because of it. It's why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is high on my list, because he did something nobody has ever done since, and nobody could do, the sky hook.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it for a minute. A couple of players tried. Nobody could do that.
Could do it consistently, for sure.
He's the only guy in the history of the game to not only do it, but to perfect it. 7 feet tall, guess what? You couldn't block the damn thing no matter what.
Yeah. And one thing, too, that a lot of people, why I don't put Emmitt Smith in my top 5 as well, is because, and this is another comparison to like LeBron James, he always had one of the best offensive line that he was running behind as well. Mm-hmm. Usually always at least a top 5 offensive line, while LeBron James has to run to different teams with top elite players already on that team.
Well, but I'm not going to hold that against him. It would be the same theory as anybody could have coached the Bulls during their tremendous run. And Phil Jackson did, and sometimes he's not given credit. And I'm thinking to myself, well, guess what? Nobody else coached it. He did it. He also coached the Lakers to 5 championships. Did he have great teams? Yes, but he was a very smart coach.
That triangle offense was unstoppable.
Right. So you could say, well, Emmitt Smith always had a great offensive line. I'm not good. Part of that is you take advantage of the great offensive line, and that's what he did.
Of course.
You could always say that about Tom Brady too. He always took less money, so he has elite offensive linemen protecting him.
But what I'm saying is, you never saw Magic call Larry like, "Hey, let's team up." You never saw them say, "Hey, Michael."
I'm not saying that's just LeBron.
Let's all go to Boston.
NBA now, and it's annoying. But LeBron, I feel like, was the main corporate who started those type things, and it really frustrated. Super teams came when he went to Miami.
He changed an aspect of the game for the worse, and so did Steph Curry.
What? No.
I said LeBron changed the game for the worse, and so did Steph Curry.
No, I disagree with that. The game of 3-point shooting has been around for a long time.
He just took it.
I don't know which coaches. I don't know which coaches decided to, and I just can't think at the moment of which coaches decided, let's shoot more threes. He is the most exciting player possibly in sports today, even at his age now. Steph Curry is the type of athlete you go pay money to see, because he is absolutely amazing.
Oh, absolutely. I like Steph Curry.
Can do. Now, you can disagree that the 3-point shot has kind of diminished basketball in so many ways. It is what it is. He just happens to be far and away. It's like looking at tennis and saying the top tennis players that are far and away the best. He's far and away. There's nobody even close to Steph Curry. It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the sky hook, and it's Steph Curry who could shoot a 3-pointer from another building and make it.
Yeah, and that's why I always said too, when you had somebody like Jordan playing, was there anybody in the league where you can say, I mean, he's right up there with Jordan? I don't feel like there was anybody.
No,
Even early in the years when he wasn't winning, it was always just talking about nobody's at his level.
You still had
As a-
Bird and
Yeah,
Magic.
as opposed to LeBron James, though, who, in my opinion, I mean, LeBron's got 4 rings.
Right.
Steph Curry has 4, doesn't he, or does he have 3? He has the
He's
same, and he's beat LeBron twice in the finals. Too.
LeBron's also been to 10 finals. He's
4-6 record can't be ignored. He's got a losing record.
He's been to 10 finals, so whatever the case may be, give him some credit there.
I'm gonna.
But during the Jordan era, there were some great teams and great players. It was just a joy to be sitting courtside and watching the Bulls take on the Knicks. There was almost nothing better than that. And to finally dethrone the bad boys of Detroit, which was the impediment before they finally went on this fabulous run. Honestly, there's a guy who Jordan played with who wasn't too shabby. His name is Scottie Pippen. In his own right, one of the great players in the history of the game.
Absolutely. No love lost for Pippen on the court. Off the court, different story.
Off the court, he's losing his mind a little bit, but
he's had his issues. There's no question.
So,
last dance game.
What is your funniest? Give us your funniest story involving Michael Jordan.
Ooh, funniest story. I need the popcorn for this one. Let's hear it.
I'd have to think really hard. I don't know if I have a funny story. You have to understand, I didn't travel with the Bulls, so I don't know any of that stuff. We were local, that's it. I covered the Bulls from Chicago, so I don't think I have any funny stories. But early on, even before the curtain closed on Jordan, where it was tough to, even get a chance to talk to him one-on-one, early on, you were able to go to where the Bulls were practicing at the Angel Guardian gym, just walk up to Michael and talk. I was there for a couple of the shoots. You could just be there. Nobody bothered you until Jordan became Jordan. And, then you had not just you had Nike and David Falk and a whole group that was, around him. But Michael was great in that just about every game, he would talk to reporters in waves, 3 of them.
That's
now,
awesome.
I would always be in the first wave, battling with Jim Rose, who was always there, big Jim. But little George was able to sneak right in with the microphone extender. Is basically, I could weave my way in and get in there and be right in front so I can ask the questions, because I wasn't willing to wait for the second wave. I wanted to be the first wave. Right. So I learned very early on how to be really aggressive in situations like that.
Right.
Michael was great. It was always a fun interview. He was enjoyable. They had a whole bunch of guys on that team that were fun to talk to. Steve Kerr, Bill Winnington. Pippen was he was okay. And then Stacey King. Stacey was good, but he's not now. Stacey is like, he's evolved into this incredible character who I love. He's fabulous.
Yeah, his personality is phenomenal.
Yeah,
his humor is impeccable. Yeah,
he makes even bad Bulls games fun to watch.
Even when you have bad Bulls teams, like I would tune in just to listen to Stacey.
True.
Stacey,
it's easily the best announcer in sports nowadays.
Well, he's a good analyst, and he works really well chemistry wise with Adam. And it's a good team.
Adam, I mean.
You watch that. It's like, do you watch the White Sox games? Not really. Do you watch the post game? Yes. Listen, you want to talk about funny stories? Ozzie Guillen, who I had the pleasure of covering as a player when he first came up in 1985. Same guy, okay? He was kind of a loudmouth around, and his 3 kids were running around the clubhouse all over the place. So Ozzie becomes the manager, and he's great because he would – some of his interviews were laden with some wonderful 4-letter words. So it was, I'm trying to remember what year it was, but, maybe 2009. So I'm out of work. I was with Mike North's Webbio, and then I unfortunately came down with a paralyzed vocal cord. I couldn't talk. I mean, I couldn't talk for months. Had to go to the Bastion Institute of Voice Institute in Lombard, where they were treating opera singers and whatever, and try to get my voice back. And I didn't want to go to the ballpark at all. But now I'm with WGN, and I'm still not going to games, but I forget who it was. I said, you should get your face back out there. So I went back to a White Sox game. Now, Ozzie, I'm not a member of the media covering the White Sox. So I'm standing about 50 feet from the White Sox dugout where Ozzie is conducting his pregame, and he sees me, and he gives me the finger. And I said, I'm back. He still loves me.
That's awesome.
That's Ozzie.
That's Ozzie. That's Ozzie. He's the most bubbly personality you'd find. Even if you can't understand half the goddamn things he's saying.
That's why we always said when the White Sox were making different coaching changes and all that, and then never even including Ozzie Guillen again in those coaching changes. When Ozzie said he would come back, I was just like, that just shows the White Sox ownership and their egos and everything.
Well, I think there's a tremendous amount of love lost between himself and Kenny and Rick. And at that stage, basically, Jerry allowed his management team to manage. That's an admirable thing until finally Jerry did something that nobody thought he'd ever do. He fired those guys.
Finally.
Which took too long.
Back then,
wish he could do that with the Bulls right now.
Back then, Ozzie was front page news, not back page news. Why? Because he had a war with Jay Mariotti. And that's old news. Jay Mariotti, yeah. Yeah, so that's old news. But Ozzie was front page news. And, the White Sox were winning, and he was kind of he was the face of the franchise, even though they won the World Series. But he was there for 8 years. That's a long time to be the manager. After that, Jerry Manuel was a manager there for 7 years, a long time. And they only went back to the playoffs once. And finally, Ozzie kind of wore out his welcome, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But he's back. He's back, and he's better than ever.
See, I hate to hear that because, like, when you listen to the games way back in the day, when Hawk and Wimpy would be on the call,
yep,
they always spoke so glowingly of Ozzie and his passion and his knowledge of the game. They say he managed, and he managed like he played, 100 miles an hour. I just feel that
playing for him.
You needed that back here in the clubhouse, especially. I mean, it's hard to watch a White Sox game in the last 10 years, maybe. Like, it's difficult.
A couple of years, yeah. When they went to the playoffs, but even then with Tony La Russa, which was just an awful.
He was asleep.
Yeah.
That was a disaster.
I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I know tonight they were still in a game and they scored 35 runs in 4 games, which is good. They got a long ways to go. Still a long ways to go. And look, I was the one that once said the White Sox would never draw more than 2 million people. Ozzie came, they drew 2.4 million, and the next year they fell just short of 3 million. That's when the new ballpark held 46,000. Now I think it holds 37,500 or something. But you know what? If they start to win, they will come back.
Agreed.
They will come back.
I hope so. Because they're stinky right now. They're terrible.
They're not very good, no.
No, yeah. I mean, you heard what George said right there, though. They have been playing better, giving a few hopes on the offensive side of the game right now. But yeah, it's still a long ways to go.
They
have 2 really good catchers, and one of them really needs to be a trade bait to get a lot more prospects now.
Depends, but yes, they need. Luis Robert wasn't playing tonight, given a day of rest, which I think is insane. Play the guy. He is red hot right now. He can be traded. And if you're going to trade him, you do need position players. They're short of those. They could use infield. They don't really have a lot of major leaguers on that team.
No, they don't.
They've got a few developing players, but they are way short of really having those kind of star players. Mm-hmm. Colson Montgomery, I think, hit a home run, his first home run tonight. Maybe he will finally develop. They're certainly hoping so. Mydroff.
been like
He's
that
had a
for a
great
few
year so
seasons.
far, I think.
Mydroff is a decent player.
Yeah.
Carroll certainly, Teal. Vargas, I'm not so sure he's really going to amount to a whole lot. But, they've got to make all these deals, and they've made some good deals. These are decent players, but they've got to have some real good star players coming up in the future.
And they don't have any star power. And one of the things we used to kind of like bash Kenny for back in the day was we get a Bo Jackson at the tail end. We get an Albert Bell right
And
with
Adam
1 year
Dunn,
left in his prime.
strikeout
We
king.
get a Ken Griffey Jr., who I think is one of the greatest ever.
I bought Ken Griffey's jersey just so I was happy
You know
with
what I'm
that
saying?
trade.
Like, we don't
How
get
about
that.
Roberto Alomar twice?
Jim Tomey.
Right.
Roberto
Jim
Alomar.
Tomey actually had a pretty good career.
Roberto Alomar twice. We got Jim Tomey. We get Adam Dunn. Like, we get the people for the name when they're already on the
Tomei
decline.
was good for the time.
Tomey was really good for the White Sox.
But
He really was.
I will give Kenny credit for putting together that team. There were a lot of shrewd trades that were made to put together that 2005 team. As a matter of fact, I think we were just boarding a plane leaving spring training when he made a trade. I forget what it was. I don't know if it was getting a Gucci or the Podsednik trade, but he made a lot of good moves. They had a really good team.
But remember, he got Scotty Pods, but then they had the biggest move that they had made was when they got Jermaine Dye and AJ Przinsky.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Those were the
I love that story on
now we rolling.
They were really good. Listen, I was with them. I traveled to 7 cities, right to the end in Houston, where they had 4 complete games from their starters. You will never ever see that again. And the next year they won 90 games, but they finished, and that was it.
They only lost 1 game that entire 2005 playoff run.
We were 11-1. It was a tremendous amount of fun to be there, to sit in Fenway Park. This was before they renovated Fenway Park. To be in Anaheim, I think that's where they lost the one game.
Yeah, they lost 1, and I think they lost game 2 in Anaheim.
And I think then they went on and had those complete games, and so no, I think they lost didn't they get the 4 complete games in Anaheim?
Yeah, that's what I thought they lost. Yeah, because they lost.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think you are right. They lost game 1, and then they won 3 straight.
4 straight complete games. I'm telling you, historically, you're never going to see that again. The game of baseball has changed dramatically. I don't like the way it is today, but it is what it is.
There's a lot of sports where I don't like the way things are going these days.
Speaking of games changing,
yeah,
the game of football has definitely changed since the players that we were talking about earlier, Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith. What do you think about the game of football today? It's kind of a Barbie league sometimes, isn't it?
No.
You can barely tackle people.
There are a lot of rules. Certainly, you can't
make it
you
difficult.
basically can't touch the quarterback.
Yeah, I hate that.
But you can touch the quarterback if they're the Eagles in the tush push. Then you can really touch the quarterback.
I see what you did there, and I like it.
That's the game. But no, they've made a lot of rules to protect the quarterback, and some of the calls are ridiculous. They're just absolutely ridiculous. You lay a finger on the quarterback and you get a 15-yard penalty. It's like,
yes,
like you put your arm up in the air to drop a pass and he accidentally hits your head with his arm. It's a flag.
You don't need to go back in the past, but you really have to come up with a better. The referees have to come up with a better concept of what is, smacking a quarterback, or in this case, touching him. So love tap, and you're going to get 15 yards. And yet, as fans, we have now become indoctrinated. If it's your quarterback and somebody touches him, you're going to say, throw the flag, right?
Unfortunately, yeah, because you're.
Yeah, and it's
But even like not even just like the quarterback situation, just like trying to tackle people nowadays. Because obviously I understand you don't want people going for the head. There's no question about that. So those type of things I understand. But now you're pushing down the knees and everything like that. You're giving a very tight zone where you can tackle when the game has changed so much in speed too. Makes it extremely difficult.
It is, and that's why I think you're seeing a lot more mobile quarterbacks now than you've ever seen. And then
Makes sense.
one of them. You're seeing there used to be some mobile quarterbacks, and there's more mobile quarterbacks now than there have been. Sometimes they're running for their lives, but a lot of times they're pretty
Bears quarterbacks.
Well, look, for whatever Fields is, and really I hope he does have success with the Jets. I doubt it, but I hope he does. I mean, it's to watch him run the year that they were, the brutal that first year under Eberflus. What did he run for 1,200 yards? I mean, he was by far the most exciting player on the team. He was probably one of the most exciting players in the league.
Yeah, right next to Lamar Jackson, who does all that type stuff.
Right.
Like
The difference between him and Lamar Jackson is Jackson could throw.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have to see whether or not Caleb Williams can learn to break habits, and that his new coach can teach him that. I'm told that it's definitely a significant work in progress. Williams has to learn how to throw a ball quicker. I think the coach said today he wants to see him complete 70% of his passes, which is a lot.
Yep, they said that.
But he also has to be a guy who is not perceived of by his teammates as a diva, and that's an issue. That's a very significant issue. He's got
now we talking, George. Now we talking.
He's got talent, but I didn't see the press conference today. I saw some clips. I'm sure you guys saw this story. I think it was yesterday. And he hasn't made play, and that is that Ryan Poles told a reporter that they were this close. They were very close to choosing J.J. McCarthy in that first pick in the draft and not Caleb Williams. And that story did not gain traction, which stunned me. And it stunned me for this reason.
I didn't hear anything about that. I heard Jaden Daniels a little bit. I never heard McCarthy.
It's an internet story with quotes from Ryan Poles saying that we really loved him and we were very close to choosing him. And the first thing I thought of is, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Why would you even say that?
Keep that in your pocket.
You have, as far as I know, that was the only guy they wanted. And look, I love J.J. McCarthy. I think before he got injured, I thought he might wind up being the best passer in the league. Now, of course, he's going to have to come back from an injury. But to admit that, and again, I didn't see much of it, but I read it, and I couldn't believe that he actually admitted that they were they were close. They obviously chose Caleb Williams, and had they not chosen Caleb Williams, Washington probably would have.
They wanted to. Washington wanted to trade.
Kingsbury wanted Caleb.
Right.
No, Kingsbury did not want Caleb. Washington's ownership wanted to swap picks with the Bears.
But it's not that. It's if the Bears didn't choose him, which they did.
They would have fell in his lap.
They would have done so. And that, as it turns out, I think they got a pretty good quarterback, don't you?
Yeah, they got a pretty good one.
I don't know.
It's too soon. I love his competitiveness. I'm going to say that right away. I mean, other than the Divas situation where I do 100% agree with you, but how you said it perfectly. He needs to change his habits because the habits are he needs to change what he did in college. The way he did it in college is not going to work here.
Well, it's not only that. He was the most sacked quarterback in the league last year. Mm-hmm. The reason is he sacked himself most of the time.
Oh, thank you. It wasn't all over.
Hold on to the ball too long.
People disparaged the offensive line. The offensive line was average. It wasn't horrible. It was average. Caleb Williams got himself sacked. And I think that's one of the habits.
Quite a few times. I do agree with that.
Throw the ball quicker. Don't run around like a chicken with your head cut off. Otherwise, you're going to get sacked. Look, they have a little more talent this year. I think Vegas has it right. 8.5 wins. They're going to win either 8 or 9. They're still in a very, very tough division. Mm-hmm. Even the Lions lost.
I think it's third hardest schedule too. Third hardest schedule.
Yes, that's correct. Not only the 6 games that they play in their division, but they've got a very tough schedule. Mm-hmm. So they win 8 or 9. Listen, that's the improvement.
I think 9's a benefit. That's a good season for them.
Probably, but that said, they did finally make the right move in getting Ben Johnson. They shelled out the money. Nobody ever thought they would pay that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the best move they can make. And now we have to see what Ben Johnson can do with the most important player on the team, and that's Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, George. What do you feel is a successful season? Because Ryan Poles right now is 15-37. The GM does have to absorb the record. And if you get another 8-win season and you're sub 500, remember, they just gave him an extension.
Right.
I was talking about Caleb going to his third year, and if he's not getting it.
Listen, the wins and losses, I mean, certainly will be dictated by how good he is. His receiving core is, I would say at the moment, is slightly better than average. Slightly.
I agree. It's not terrible, but it's not all world either.
No, we'll see if Dunze becomes their leading receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going anywhere. Obviously, Poles has been re-signed,
so
5 years or whatever the contract is. But yes, this is why they hired Ben Johnson. They hired him because they thought he would be the guy to turn Caleb Williams around, and I think he took the job for that reason. For one of the reasons was, look, I've got a really talented quarterback that if we can grow together, this could be a team of the future. So we shall see.
Yeah, not to mention too, and I know we always had these talks on here. Most of the people did not want Ben Johnson the way I wanted Ben Johnson. I always wanted Ben because I look at our division and I see what Matt LaFleur is doing. I see what O'Connell is doing. I saw what McVay did with the Rams and everything. Like when you have that just great offensive play caller with a young quarterback, you have him for a long time now with that system. Because if you get an offensive coordinator, especially here in Chicago, he has one good year, he gets a head coaching job because he changed around the Chicago Bears.
Well, let's understand
and
too.
You surrounded Ben Johnson with a lot of good coaches with him as well, with experience.
Let's remember, Caleb Williams had 3 offensive coordinators last year. So that's always going to be an issue. Now he has one. It's the head coach. There is an offensive coordinator. I forgot his name, but I think he's under 30. But really, perhaps
he's the kid that was with Sean Payton from Denver. He was a tight ends coach.
Right. So listen, this is Ben Johnson's job to turn this guy into the quarterback that everyone thought, or not everyone, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of people thought he could be. And we're going to find that out early on, no question.
Yeah, I think all I want is improvement this year on offense.
But see, I'm sick of improvement, and here's my thing, because
you're going to get that with all new coaches.
You can speak to this, George, way longer than I can because I can only go back and remember like 85, 84, 80, around that time, like really, really watching and understanding ball. But this is such a Bears thing to do, and I hope Ben Johnson, I hope he does do what he's supposed to do, right? But we've seen this before where the Bears maybe not paid that type of money, but they get the hot shot or they get the no-name or the first-timer again and again and again and again and again. I would have loved to look up and see, oh, my gosh, Sean Payton is the Bears head coach. Yeah. I would have loved to see something like that because we've only done it one time in our history that I can remember, which is when we took John Fox from taking 2 different teams to the Super Bowl.
How did that work?
Well, they didn't give him his players.
True.
He had nothing.
They drafted him.
You gave him Mitch Trubisky.
The time before that was Dave Wanstead when he was the hottest rookie coordinator coming out, and we saw how that worked out. It's like,
well, you know what, Dave Wanstead was not a bad coach. He also had a pretty damn good quarterback who broke his neck. He is, by the way, the all-time leading for one season. King was
Eric
Kramer.
Kramer threw for what, 3,600?
That's on here a long time.
38 and some change and 29 touchdowns.
If not for the injury, that may have changed the course of the way the Bears would have been. That's whatever. You are correct, though. But in this case, they not only got the hottest name, they got the hottest name from the hottest team. There is a difference. And you saw what he could do But again, he had a lot more weapons.
Thank you. They're not us.
But that's not Ben Johnson's issue at the moment. Okay, as time goes on with him and Poles, they're going to have to draft smartly. Look,
Ben Johnson built that offense in Detroit.
Listen, they drafted a tight end right away.
Yes,
So maybe this is a way of playing a double tight end situation, which he did in Detroit, which he may do here. He doesn't have the weapons that he had there. He's coming here. They know that if the Bears win 8 or 9 games, that's a tremendous improvement. Listen, if they had him last year, they would have been a much better team. That Washington game, a lot of people thought after that Washington game, either the Bears are going to come together or they're going to lose every game. And they just about did lose every game. They had better talent last year than people think, but they were completely awash after that game in Washington.
And I agree, because now you have to give as much as they want. Some people, I won't say any names, but some people in our regime are screaming for double-digit wins and playoffs. I said, before everybody has to gel, Ben Johnson still has to learn how to be a head coach.
Well,
that's huge.
True, and I think he has the ability to do so. I think that this is how do you become a head coach? You become a head coach from being a coordinator. All of them are. That you don't just walk into the building and become a head coach. Every one of them is a coordinator. That's it, and he is a very good coordinator. Look what happened to Matt Nagy. His first year, heck, they're 12-4. If not for a double doink, who knows, right?
Yeah.
Then it caught up to him. Okay,
he got predictable.
The offensive genius got a little too much of a genius, but these things happen, and they usually happen to the Chicago Bears. But we'll see.
Don't knock on wood on that one, because this where I go with the Matt Nagy situation. I know me and JB always go at it when it comes down to this. Matt Nagy was not the guy on that Chiefs team. It was always Andy Reid.
Of course it was.
Everything is Andy Reid. Matt Nagy was just that person sitting there, oh, you got me a head coaching job, thank you. I'm going to go see
listen, with the quarterback that he had, he still won 12 games.
Yeah.
You just don't – man comes in.
Unfortunately, that was a bad – everybody will – probably the worst draft pick probably in Bears history is going to be him because of who you passed on. Because you didn't go get a Patrick Mahomes. Before Deshaun Watson went crazy, could have got it. He was one of the best quarterbacks.
Lucky you didn't get to Deshaun Watson. But yes.
He was the one that they wanted from what
it reminds me of the coin flip in 1980. The Bulls coin flip.
Magic Johnson could have went to the Bulls.
Yeah, I remember that.
David Greenwood, who just passed away recently, wound up with the Bulls. Otherwise, Magic is here. If Magic is here, Michael isn't.
No, because the record dictates we don't get them.
Right. That coin flip turned out pretty well after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, where I was going with this, though, the thing is with a Ben Johnson is Ben Johnson had a top 2 offense for 3 straight years.
Yes.
With the Detroit Lions. They didn't have an offensive-minded head coach. All right. He was their offense. The coach straight up said he was the offense. The players straight up said he was the offense.
But it was also
why I was okay getting him.
But it's also the coach who loves to go on 4th down. And there are times where that really hurt them.
That hurt them.
And I think, listen, he's a very bold coach. He's kind of redefined the Lions in Detroit. But he also has to learn there's a point in time where 4th down is 4th down. It doesn't mean you go for it all the time. But
football, not mad.
His team, despite the loss of 2 coaches, and we'll see if there's any regression, is still a Super Bowl
hands down,
without any doubt.
I think they're going to take a dip, but I still think they're going to be the best team in the division, in my opinion. They just have way too much talent.
We'll see whether or not Jordan Love takes the next step. I'm not so sure. We do know in Minnesota, even though they crapped out in the playoffs, they were 15-2 last year because they have a very smart head coach. Mm-hmm. So you've got some very smart, really good head coaches in this division with good quarterbacks.
We went out and got the best smart offensive coordinator, hopefully be the best smart coach.
I will still remain cautiously optimistic.
Well, that's just being a Bears fan. We always have to remain.
I'm not jumping on the playoff wagon.
No. I know that a lot of people think they're going to do that, and you're right. Take a look at their schedule. It is not an easy schedule, and their defense. Listen, they have better talent, but it's not great talent.
See, George, I love talking to you because they have pieces. They don't have totality yet.
Not yet. I don't think they have a second pass rusher that we know of yet to help Sweat. They did make some. They got some good veterans for the offensive line. They got a very good stud center, which is going to help him. I think that's going to help the quarterback as long as everybody stays in one piece. I think the line will be a little better. But as good as the line might be, again, it's really up to how they can teach Caleb Williams to get rid of the ball quicker, to understand, go ahead and throw it. I think he was reluctant a lot of times of getting picked off, which he didn't get picked off very often, as I remember.
One of the best in Bears rookie history, honestly.
True, that's true. But you know what? Sometimes you got to just throw the ball. And what I want to see him do, which I think he can throw the ball deep. Throw the ball deep.
No accuracy.
He was one of the most inaccurate deep ball throwers in the NFL.
Yep, the worst.
A lot of those. If you go back and watch it, a lot of those he never sets his feet before he throws. He has to do that whole jump leap that he did in college all the time. Can't do that here.
That's what Ben Johnson is here for. Mm-hmm. That's it, fellas.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, and again, we will see sooner than later. I just hope, because sometimes there are certain quarterbacks you just can't teach bad habits out of them.
We're going to find that out. That's
you can go from Ryan Leaf to Rick Meyer. You can go to Achilles Smith. You can go to what was my man name that we got from UCLA? Cade McNown. Like, you can go. The list goes on.
That's one of the worst draft picks that they've ever had. That I remember. That was just he. First of all, he just wasn't. He didn't
Curtis
connect.
Enos was up there too.
Who's that?
Curtis Enos was up there too. I feel like.
I was just talking about quarterbacks.
I know. Yeah, I'm just saying worst draft picks.
I know Curtis Enos had his own issues. So we'll see what happens, fellas.
No, but I mean, regardless, and I mean, JB always uses that word, optimistic. I'm that same way too. I mean, you have a whole new regime. Everything is starting over again. And I agree, they don't really have a lot of elite. You could probably say DJ Moore is their most talented player.
And he's not listed right. No, they don't. I agree at the moment.
He's not a top 10. He's not a top 10 receiver.
No, he's their top 10 receiver. No, you're correct. I don't think that they have quote elite players. I think that Sweat could be better if he had a bookend. But no, they really don't. Jalen Johnson's pretty good. But
we have one of the best secondaries in the NFL, in my opinion, with Kyler Gordon now getting re-signed too. That's great. Like,
I want to see what Jalen Johnson's issue is, because he's going to be missing a little bit of time. I don't know what the injury was. So
they just said it was a lower body injury, the typical football injury.
No, it sounds like a hockey injury, lower body.
That's what it sounds like, right?
Lower body.
He stubbed his toe.
So, Mr. George,
was there a Chicago rookie you saw that you were surprised didn't become a bigger star? Boy, that's also
that's a good question.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that for a little bit.
I have one, but it's not going to be well received.
What's that?
Derrick Rose because of injury.
No, Derrick Rose was a superstar for a short time.
He was a superstar before that.
Listen, he was the MVP because he was a sensational player. Unfortunately, and I was there the day that he suffered the first injury against the 76ers in the playoffs. Wow. When he went down, I looked at whoever was next to me and I said, he's done. And
we were up by 20, if I'm not mistaken, George, right?
Like a minute and a half left in the game, too.
The year that they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, I said all they need is a piece, and they could win an NBA championship. They had a very good team around Derrick Rose. So no, a flame out. No, he was an MVP. He
Oh
was
no,
very,
not a flame out. I thought the question was cut short, like he didn't get to make it because
no,
of this.
I perceived it as somebody who thought that they were really good and never did anything. Yeah, it was. They're a Chicago rookie you saw. You were
It didn't
surprised.
become a bigger.
A
Okay,
bigger star. I think Derrick Rose was a big star. He became a big star, and then he got injured. But I would have to think. Oh gosh, I think there was a couple of Blackhawk players that I thought might have been better, but I just
Teravainen, top wasn't it Teravainen?
Well, Teravainen turned out to be a pretty good player. Remember,
They traded him.
Yeah, just not here. Not here.
no, he was actually decent here. He was a budding player. They got rid of him.
He had a few 20, 25 goal seasons and everything. He was headed in the right direction,
Well,
but
right, yeah.
then they just traded him to try to find.
That's a tough question. I would have to think long and hard on that. And at this hour, I can't think much anyhow. So
It probably is from the.
it's nearly past my bedtime. I need my milk and cookies and a glass of wine.
Milk and cookies.
I'm just kidding.
And a glass of wine.
Cookies and a glass of wine.
Mine milk and cookies is a glass of wine. Thank you.
All right now.
So Mr. George, let me ask you, if you were the coach for the Chicago Sky,
Oh Lord.
I'm going to stop you there because I just don't follow the Chicago Sky.
me neither, and I'm trying to learn.
You would be a great coach because I would have no idea. I'm sorry to say that I hope I'm not offending anybody. I just don't follow women's basketball. But then again, I mean, other than the Bulls, I don't really watch the NBA until the playoffs. It's the matchups they're not as exciting as they were back in the Jordan era for me. But the women's basketball, it's like me in soccer. I don't watch soccer until it's the World Cup. I'm, just not.
Yeah, it's fair.
Well, I will say that
I do follow him, and I don't like it.
women's basketball is starting to be a little more exciting than NBA basketball. Just because of the simple fact that the women are actually physical.
They're getting physical. They're starting to be. There's a little hatred, which a lot of people says is good for the league, but one player has changed it all. I know she's injured now. She is the reason why the WNBA is skyrocketing. That's the reason. There are other good players, not to diminish them, but if not for her, you wouldn't be seeing the WNBA where it's at now. Period.
Okay. All right. Well,
Whoa, Ron. Okay.
Me, like you, Mr. George, I don't really follow women's basketball, not because it's a gender thing. So all you women rights people, don't get at me.
No.
It's not because of that, but
Heck,
I don't know. I'm just like a 90s. I'm a 90s NBA junkie.
Yes, true. But you got to remember something.
Wow.
We don't live in the 90s now. We live in the roaring 20s.
Yeah, I know.
Roaring 20s.
I know. Unfortunately.
No. Things will look up. All I can say is if you take a look at the city of Detroit and how bad their teams were, and now the Tigers are a legitimate World Series possible champion. The Lions are in that category. Finally, the Pistons are healthy, and they look like they're making some leaps and bounds.
They're going to look good next year.
And even the Red Wings have gotten better, but unfortunately not. I'm very surprised that Patrick.
Red Wings are because I am a big hockey guy. Red Wings, in my opinion, and I have one of my best friends is a Red Wings fan, they're an embarrassment because they've been in that rebuild now, I feel, for like 10, 11 years, and they just barely can get playoffs. They just can't get over the edge.
They can't get in the playoffs, and yes, I do agree.
And they have talent. They have
some talent. They're lacking. Listen, Kane has been great there. He almost averaged a point a game. And he re-signed, and I think maybe he re-signed because he's very comfortable with Alex DeBrincat. I really thought the place that he could have gone to, a team that could really, really, really use him, the Maple Leafs. But they've a lot of issues too.
They're probably going to get Connor McDavid in next year. Just wait.
See, I'm gonna say what nobody wants to say. The reason why nobody watches the Bulls or the Skies because they both suck. It has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with
very fair point.
We need to win.
Watching is one thing, JB, but the people still come and fill the building because they're
stupid for the Bulls. I would never.
It's an entertainment thing there. Listen, when I was just
Stacey King
before the COVID, so this was the last year that I was covering games in 2019. I mean, the Bulls were drawing whatever they announced. There were like 10,000 people in the building. There was at least 10 or 12,000 empty seats. It was just awful. But now, if you noticed, they're almost full every night. What they have is what I think Jerry Reinsdorf loves. They have a team good enough not to be good enough, but entertaining to be entertaining enough to get people to come into the building. And will they be a championship caliber team? Absolutely not. No. They're not. Their general manager has made a series of gaffes. Where he had some talent, but he couldn't mesh it together.
You have a horrible coach.
He's got a very good coach. Honestly, he is a really good coach. They lack the talent, period. Listen, the kid Bazelis, good pick.
I do like Bazelis' pick.
Going to be
I do like that pick.
But, I mean, where are you?
George, we might differ here. What makes Billy Donovan a good coach in your opinion? Because I remember when he took over for Scott Brooks, a lot of people think he's the one that took that OKC team to the finals. That was Scott Brooks. Ever since he took over, the OKC record went down. He went to the Bulls. We have one okay season.
I think he's a combination of a good coach and a good teacher, but he's not had the talent here. He had some of it. He had some of the talent here, but not enough of the talent here to mesh it together. I mean, when you had Levine and DeRozan was just sensational here. I'm sure they would love to trade their center right now, but they really can't find a home for him.
It's because he makes a lot of money.
But that's stupid. You don't trade for a center when Billy Donovan's offense doesn't call for an offense.
That's where I was going. He's never had a scoring center.
Not now. He's got a much more open, moving offense, but unfortunately, they still don't have a really good 3-point shooting team. In this day and age, the
way he runs it, you need a 3-point shooter. The way he runs his offense. And the thing that frustrates me the most, and it's why I don't like Billy Donovan, the actual relationship between what he is given. So the GM, president, that Arthur Karaka, whatever the hell his freaking name is, like the pieces that he's given Billy Donovan does not work in Billy Donovan's system. But Billy Donovan is not adapting that system to actually do it. Because Vooch, you should be running your offense through Vooch in the post 50% of the time, but he keeps pushing him out on the 3-point line.
Well, because Vooch was a decent 3-point shooter. He's right. Now their offense is much more of a running offense than they were last year. So
they became transition based more this year than
much more, and we'll see whether or not they re-sign the Australian kid, but they probably will. So that's what they're going to do.
Don't you think they kind of have to now? Because now you're talking about
for their
rookie and a sophomore kid. Patrick Williams was the worst pick ever. I'm going on record.
Well, he has turned out to be a bust, and that's bad when you're picking the fourth pick. And remember,
he was averaging 5 points a game in college.
He didn't pick him. Okay, he didn't pick him.
Who are you saying, Billy Donovan?
Picked him, and that's what you.
Yes, I agree with that.
Soft player. They gave him $90 million. I have no idea why you would waste the money on that guy to do that.
And now you're stuck with him.
He's got the body and the athleticism to be a 15-10 guy, if not better. But I'm not sure he ever will be.
They compared him to Kawhi Leonard at one point coming out, and I was just like, But when you look at the little ticker at the bottom, it said position of need, point guard center. I'm sorry, point guard power forward. And we get a 6'7", 215-pound power forward. But we could have had Obi Toppin or Tyrese Halliburton.
I compare him to Leonard.
So you do see the similarities.
Not quite Leonard, just Leonard.
Leonard Nimoy?
Get a guy off the street named Leonard. He compares
Just
to
a guy off the street.
Any random name.
Any Leonard.
Oh, I love that. Just a guy off the street named Leonard.
I got to tell you guys, I have to run here real soon. So if there's a last couple of things you want to talk about.
Okay. Well, before you run,
Yes.
let me ask you this, Mr.
George, I like this. Okay.
Mr. George. You're a Chicago guy, right?
Yes.
Of course. So, who has the best Italian beef?
Well, I mean, Al's has been pretty good, and I don't eat Italian beef much these days, just because I don't. Al's was pretty good. I can't compare because I'm not one of those guys. If you ask me pizza, it might be a different story, but I'm not a type of guy who ran around having Italian beef.
Well, then pizza.
George's deep dish.
George's deep dish.
George's deep dish, which opened, I think it was 5 years ago in May, is 2 locations. This original location is on Clark and Rosemont, right around there. And he makes both deep dish and tavern style with sourdough crust, and it's really sensational pizza. I'm telling you, he now has a place in Harwood Heights. It's called George's Deep Dish Tavern. After that, I've always liked Lou Malnati's as long as it's consistent. Pequod's is a terrific pizza. Now, again, there are so many pizza places. Last time I was at Vito and Nick's was 2 years ago, because you need a helicopter from where I live to get there. But it hasn't changed. It's really sensational pizza. It's just absolutely great. Peace Pizza. If you guys have ever heard of Peace,
I've had Peace before.
Peace? Where's that?
Peace.
It's on Damon near North Avenue. Peace has been around for 24 years. Actually, Jesse Rogers and I did a hit and run show, which is a show I developed 20 years ago on The Score. And it's still going. I think it's the longest running show with a title name in sports radio.
Okay.
And so we did one of our very few remotes from Peace Pizza in 2006? No, 2004? It's the show started 2006, I think. That's when I met Bill Jacobs, the owner of Peace. He's a great guy. And gosh, I would go there so often with my nephews. Great pizza, New Haven style pizza. It's a thin crust, but it's just absolutely delicious. So, but there's a million pizzas. As for beef, just don't eat it very much, guys.
Okay, well,
gotta watch my slender figure.
Well, I'm definitely gonna try out George's, man.
George's deep. Look it up.
George's Deep Dish Tavern.
There's tavern. The tavern is located in Harwood Heights. The other one is in the city. It just depends on where you live. You order ahead of time, and then you just pick up. It's well worth trying. Take a look at the names of the pizza. All the pizzas are named after George, including my once a year pizza. The Towering Line Drive pizza is out there once a year. I think this might be the season it's out now. But it's fabulous. I would say try it.
Definitely, we're gonna check it out.
On that note, I'm gonna go have my milk and cookies.
Okay, enjoy that one, Mr. George.
Hey, come back.
You want to tell us about your book, though? Where to find your book?
Oh, thanks for asking. Tell Me a Story I Don't Know was a podcast that I did for 3 years, and halfway through, I convinced Triumph Books to let me write a book on it, on at least 50 of the 100 interviews that I did. And so we did. It came out in November of 2023. Tell Me a Story I Don't Know, Conversations with Chicago Sports Legends. All you have to do is look up Tell Me a Story I Don't Know. Go to Amazon Books. I mean, they're giving the price. It's like Mad Magazine. It's cheap. But very, very proud of it. I just loved writing it. And if people had never listened to the podcast, there are 50 interviews in there. Interviews with, there's Joe Madden and Ozzie Guillen, and I can't even think of, and some people, unfortunately, who weren't in this book that I want to write the second book, people like Marv Albert and Kevin Harlan, people I've known for, knows since I began.
Oh, wow.
So
Kevin Harlan.
I mean, listen, Kevin Harlan.
Crazy link. I posted it on the chat.
He's not in the book only because I had to pick the 50 that we wanted to choose. Kevin was 19. He was a college student. I believe he was 20 years old at the university. I forget where he was. So he did the first pre, post, and halftime show on radio. And it was the Kansas City Chiefs, 1980. And he looked in the media black book for stringers, freelancers, which is what I was doing for a living, and picked me out as one of his freelance reporters. And that's how I got to know him. And I've known him for 45 years.
Nice.
He is about as good as you'll ever get as a play-by-play guy.
Wow.
He is a great, and he's a great guy too. And his brother is Brian Harlan. For those people who may recognize the name, Brian used to be the PR director for the Chicago Bears, and now is a very successful agent.
And his daughter is now a commentator, right?
Yeah, that is.
Oh, she's a sideline reporter.
Yes, that's right. She does. She does. Right. I think her last name is Decker, but that's correct. So,
damn, JB, how the hell you know that?
He knows everything.
JB's a pretty. I could tell. JB knows his stuff.
Yeah, JB knows a lot of shit.
But anyhow, just go to Amazon Books. Tell Me a Story I Don't Know. That's all you have to do. Look it up. Pick it out. It's a great gift for anybody, and you'll enjoy it.
I am on it. I'm gonna order that.
I'll get that link, and I'll put it on our Facebook page too.
Thank
for
you guys. Appreciate it.
Advertise that thing because I'll
We'll
definitely
get
be
that
ordering
tonight, and we gotta have you back on, Mr. George.
I would
so we
love
can
to
talk
do this.
about it.
You guys all know your stuff. You've been around. This is not. I'm not talking to a bunch of spring chickens here, so I got it.
I like to think
Frank
I'm
looks like the
sometimes.
youngest one here. Frank looks like the baby of the family.
I am.
We're not the new media.
Yeah, I am the baby.
Well, we surely appreciate you, Mr. George. We surely appreciate you. Enjoy that wine. We'll have you on next time. We'll talk about the book.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Sorry that I was a little late.
That's
No,
all right,
you're fine.
Mr. George.
You're fine.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Very
Take
enjoyable.
care, George. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
PCA, Sivius, you want me to talk about PCA?
Mr. George, what a fun guy. And he knows a lot of shit. A lot of shit, man. We only got a piece of it. We didn't really get into the nuts and bolts. We just got a little piece of it. But I can't wait to have him back on. We gotta get that book.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna post a link. I'll post a link on Facebook, on our Facebook page and everything too, on our Instagram page.
He's done about 100 interviews. I think we've done about 100 interviews.
Possibly.
Okay, let's count them up, shall we?
No.
Paul Edinger.
We're gonna forget some.
David Terrell. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna count.
I was about to break out the violin.
Shit, we've done 100 interviews too. Maybe we should write a book. You think anybody will go buy it?
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people.
CCP book. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
I know all of our loyals in the chat. They'll go buy the book.
So
hey, we appreciate everybody that's in the chat, man. All of you all are loyal because I see you all more than once. I've seen you the week before when I was here. I've seen these same names. So I know y'all are loyal. And y'all would buy a book if we wrote it.
Well, yeah, I would buy the book.
That's
Sure, my mom will buy the book too.
So here's my thing with that. I feel that we need to start promoting going to old school books because, like, too many times, just a click of a button, you hear the audio book, and it's not the same. You know, it's something about picking up that 200 pages and just thumbing through it that's still, you know, for me, I just, maybe I'm just old, but for me,
You are. you are. Oh, I was gonna mention to you earlier, not to change the subject or anything, but I'm gonna pull together a flag football team, and you're gonna be the quarterback.
what?
Well, that's some
Well,
random shit right there.
It's a flag football team for one day, but one day in November.
Where and to do what?
Okay, so we'll talk about all that later. But that's what I was gonna say earlier. That's what I was gonna say. And I'm gonna pull out D baby. I'm pulling out Booby. I'm pulling out some weapons. And we playing. You wanna play Big Frank?
Let me know. I don't know how my knees are gonna hold up, but shit.
Oh God, nah.
Give it a shot.
Hell no, hell no.
I'd be afraid of flag football.
No, I don't want to be responsible for that. I don't want to be responsible.
I'd play tackle football.
Nah, hell no, I ain't playing no tackle football. Shit. Fuck that.
Hey, Scrolls, I agree. Like, you got to get that book. It's.
But so, Mr. George, he had some interesting things to say. And it sounded like he really, really likes LeBron. Now, he did say LeBron is not the greatest, but he really, really likes LeBron. He didn't say anything about his flopping. He didn't say anything about his the flaws to his game. But he spoke a lot about,
Yeah, he respects LeBron.
Yeah.
I don't know if
he respects. I don't even say he likes. Respects.
I would say he likes LeBron.
No, I would say he respects what he's done for the game as long as he's done what he's been doing. I wouldn't sit up there and say that he would, say that he's like top 5.
Well, to me, it sounded like he really likes LeBron. But I mean, then again, I could be wrong. But he did say he's not. He's nowhere near Mike. I did hear him say that.
Thank you, Scrolls.
Yeah, I don't have him in my top 5 either, Scrolls.
No, LeBron is not top 5, man. LeBron is not.
Statistically, you can say he's top 5, sure. But I mean, that doesn't statistically is not freaking making you the greatest of all time just by looking at stats. I hate when people, because that's all he has. Because the thing is, the one thing that people don't look like at LeBron is they don't look at the negatives. Yes, he has the most points. He also has the most misses. Yes, he has one at the most assists at his position. He also has the most turnovers at his position. Like, nobody looks at the negative side. Like, how about this? Faking fucking injuries every single time he does not win an NBA final. There's always an injury that, kept him from winning an NBA final. You can say he respected going to the finals 10 straight years or 10 times. Agreed. That's impressive. But he also went through what the NBA calls the Eastern Conference, the weakest the East has ever looked in NBA history.
Did you just call it the Eastern?
The Eastern Conference.
That's what it's always been called.
The NBA called that the Eastern Conference, which is another reason why he went to Miami. He had to take all the great pieces in the East and bring them over to Miami.
I'll say this to that though, because
he's top 10. Yeah,
I shudder to hear when people say, "Oh, but he went to 10 finals." Okay, but nobody was talking about Jerry West going to 9 or whatever it was, 8. No. He's 1-7 or 1-8, whatever it was, and he's the damn logo. Nobody was talking about how great he was because he went to 9. Nobody says the Buffalo Bills are the greatest team that went 4 Super Bowls in a row and lost all 4 of them. It's only because of this guy that we start supporting losing the mediocrity, and it's not a ring culture.
Good point. Oh my God, that ring culture.
What did Herman was saying?
You
play to win the game. So if you're not playing for a ring,
what the hell are you playing for? You're playing for a paycheck, and that's all he keeps collecting. Because guess what? If you cared about a ring right now, you would have took a pay cut in LA right now to get more talent around you instead of taking a $50 million a year fucking payday.
He is a narcissistic, insecure
piece of shit.
Little kid.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
I'm not going to call him a POS. I'm not going to disrespect him like that because I don't know how he is off the court.
On the court, piece of shit.
Watching him makes basketball unenjoyable because he's going to cry. He's going to wipe his Beijing off. He's going to fake flop when you sneeze on him.
They have a Vegas odds of how many times LeBron's going to cry in a game.
He needs to just go
that's
ahead
what he's
and
done to the NBA.
He needs to fade the black.
Damn. Okay.
Hey, Sylvia, sorry about the Cubs talk. I would like you, if you could, check out Plunk, man, on every other Thursday.
We have a baseball show. We don't talk a lot of White Sox on here either because we have our own baseball show.
The only thing I know about the Cubs right now is they no longer in first place because, the Brewers just won, 22 straight. Actually, it's 12 or 10 or 11, something like that. But they just went on, a crazy tear. So now I know the Cubs are now in second place.
There's a lot of very good baseball teams right now.
Yeah, so make sure you check out Plunk because they go in depth about the Cubs and Sox. So make sure you check that out, man. But we appreciate you for checking us out, too. We appreciate that, man.
No, serious. The Cubs are all we have. I'm telling you, brother, if they get to the chip and they win, I will be the first person to say, bro, I'm going to buy you a beer. Let's go. But, that's another show. And we want to, give them their just due.
Put up Scrolls' last comment. That was good. That was a good one.
They call me LeBron at work because I always play sick and go.
Oh, no.
That's a good one.
Man.
We should make a T-shirt that says that.
Oh,
hey, Ron said LeBron wants an Emmy for his bad acting. He probably does.
That's the only award he hasn't won.
Hey, so
Cubs beat KC? Okay.
I have to double up. I have to double up on the hints that I was giving
for it. And then we'll get the shout outs.
For the Bears tickets. So I'm giving away my Bears tickets to both preseason games if you haven't already heard. So the first preseason game is August. Help me out, fellas. August.
I forgot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I forgot. It's in 3 weeks, right? 2 weeks, something like that. I think
August 5th. I want to say August 5th.
The Hall of Fame game is next week, right?
Is it?
Yeah, August 1st is Friday.
Wait, let me. Okay,
next week,
Friday, it can't be August 5th. It can't. I think August 18th.
18th. That sounds
okay. Like that. So they played Miami. The first preseason game. I'm giving up 2 tickets, 2 club level tickets.
That's August 10th. Miami.
That's August 10th. Okay. Yeah. And then they played Miami at noon at Soldier Field on Sunday, August 10th. So I'm giving away club level tickets to that game and the game on August. It would be.
You said the Bills, the 17th.
Wait, no, they play Monday night though, right? Is it Monday night or is it a Sunday game again?
Our first game is Monday night.
August 10th is a Sunday noon game, and then
the Bills is a night game.
And the Bills is a night game. That's Sunday night.
Okay, so the Bills Sunday night at 7:00, I think. So I'm giving away tickets to that too. Club level tickets. It's nice outside, so you might want to go ahead and jump on these Bears tickets while you can, because it gets stupid during the season. Stupid. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the hint that I was supposed to give you last week, and then give you the hint that I'm gonna give you this week for both games. But any hint before that, you got to go watch the podcast to get those hints. So let me go ahead and give them to you. Let me pull them up right here. So today is what? The 22nd?
Yes.
Okay. So I missed the 15th. So the hint for the game, for the Miami game, is you're putting together a sentence, right? With each hint, you're putting together a sentence. So I'm gonna give you a word that you put in that sentence. So this word for the Miami game is will. 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 That's the fourth hint for the Miami game. And that was the hint I was supposed to give you last week. The hint that I'm supposed to give you this week is the word always. 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 Okay, so the next game, the Buffalo against the Buffalo Bills on the 17th. The word that I was supposed to give you on 7/15 is kept. 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 And the word that I'm supposed to give you today is eating. 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 I feel like I'm on Sesame Street.
You looked like that dude in the trash.
Oh, you call him Oscar the Grouch?
Oh my! But I do. I'm enunciating and I'm spelling the word.
Spell it slower. Eating.
Eating. EATING. Now,
Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
That was good. That was good. I hope you all got those words because I will not be saying any of them again tonight. You have to go back, rewind, go back to other episodes if you want anything that I've said previously.
Yes, easy.
Easy drugs are bad. They are.
Easy
So
puts
stay
crack
off
in his
of them.
You
cornflakes.
said the magic word.
Stay off of. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get into some shouts.
Who wants to go first? Me again?
Why not?
I was
Why
just like,
not?
did everyone freeze or something?
Go ahead, big dog.
That was a great guest. I do wish we could have talked a little bit more about his book, but man, we got into it so quick and so long. Like he was very knowledgeable, knew his stuff. But other than that, hey, got to give a shout out to the family. We took a nice little vacation up in Tennessee this past week. That's why I wasn't on the past Tuesday show. It was really fucking hot. And we were in the middle of nowhere. I had to drive 45 minutes just to go to a McDonald's. But other than that, it was still very relaxing and everything. Got to visit a Jack Daniel's distillery. That was a great story to hear about how they made Jack Daniel's and everything. Freaking guy ran away. He ran away from home at 6 years old and started distilling whiskey at 8 years old. Like, God, that's crazy shit right there. But other than that, hey, shout out to the Bears, Blackhawks, Bulls, White Sox, everybody except the Cubs. I'm totally messing with you. Giving a shout out to
He's joking.
The Cubs are the only winning team in Chicago right now, so got to give a shout out to them for that. I'm not a huge baseball fan because these freaking people make 200, 3, 4, 5, $800 million that these freaking guys make, no salary cap. Was never a huge fan of baseball because of that. Shout out, I guess you can say shout out to the Chicago Sky. They suck, like mostly all Chicago sports teams do right now. So it is what it is. So other than that, shout out to you guys. Always awesome being back on Tuesdays. Missed the last few Tuesdays. Fuck Easy. Fuck them.
Damn.
I don't like them. 2% milk. It's spoiled, so you're spoiled. But other than that, go ahead, JB.
Shout out to you guys, of course. Tuesdays mean the world to me. I love being on air with my brothers and in studio. So check us out when we do have live podcast in the studio. Just real quick, there obviously in the text that there are some shout out to some entertainers that we have recently just lost within the past 24 to 48 hours. Theo Huxtable, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and of course the legendary Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to their families. May they rest in power. While we're on that note, personal shout out to the Brown/Tillis family. One of my students was tragically murdered by a Metro train on Thursday evening.
Yeah.
He
condolences. That's
wandered in front of a Metro train or something, whatever have you, on 27th Street. He was struck by the train and he is no longer with us. So shout out to those families and the UCW family for the loss of a very bright young mind. Our prayers and shouts out go out to that family. On a brighter note, I do have someone that is selling for $400 a ticket to the Chicago Sky versus the Indiana Fever this Sunday. So if anybody is interested in obtaining, she has 3. If anybody is interested in obtaining one of those tickets,
$400 for all 3?
No, it's 3 rows off the floor. So you're like right there. It comes with a parking pass and it comes with food.
Wait, so just $1,200?
Yeah, that's where I'm going
all
with
3 of them,
that. Dude. But I mean, that's Caitlin Clark. You're playing Angel Reese.
Get all the way the fuck out of here with that shit.
You're going to be able to sell Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. People are going to buy it.
That's what they're going for. And
I'm not going to buy it, but people are going to buy it.
Get the
think
fuck
of it like this.
out.
Think of it like this too, fellas.
That's Bears tickets.
You might say that now for that price, but when you're 3 rows off the floor, think about what a Bulls game 3 rows off the floor would be. $5,000?
Oh, no, dog.
I don't care.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care if I was in her lap.
There might be some people.
You might rise her to the occasion if she was.
There might be some people in TV land that want those tickets. Reach out to me and I'll put you in tune with this individual.
Who the hell?
Hey, you're giving away tickets. That's like if you came out with like, I'm selling my club level tickets for the Bears to get their ass kicked against the Ravens or whatever.
I would never sell preseason tickets.
I'm talking about. I said the regular. This ain't preseason for WNBA. What?
Oh no! I'm talking about my tickets.
I spent $400 a ticket to go.
Actually, I'm gonna sell the regular season tickets though.
See
what?
$400.
Well, that was for a Bears game.
And this is $400 to be 3 rows off the floor for the Sky versus the Fever.
I can literally be in their locker room. I ain't paying $400 fucking dollars.
Price is the price. Y'all sound like some chauvinists. The price is the price.
That's a lot of money for a WNBA game right there. But I understand what you're saying. People are going to buy it because it is Angel Reese versus
thank you.
Might as well not even say Sky versus Fever. It's Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark.
This is the new women's version of Magic versus Bird. This is what it is. Embrace it, deal with it.
That's what they're trying to make it to be.
And CT, you wonder why people get on your case about knowing the WNBA. It's because of that mess right there. Let it go, brother. The price is the price. If anybody is interested, feel free to reach out to me on social media, and I will put you in tune to help you get those tickets. Now, let's get to the chat. Starting off with Frank O'Dowd. That's a hell of a guy right there, one of my key ones. Antonio, our guy, Crooked Commission in the background, always making sure that we are produced properly. Lee Ainsworth, thank you. She came in early. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Lee? That's a guy. Sorry. I think, right? I can't tell anymore. TTNL Runaway, often and early.
With another good comment I saw.
Great comment. Bears down. Thank you for chiming in. Logan, our Logan. How are my little nieces and nephews, man? Leah, and Logan. Hope you all are doing well. Hope to see you guys soon again. Bears down. We said that again. Jay Grizz, my man Jay Grizz on the East Coast. Thank you for chiming in, Jay Grizz. Jeanette Johnson, one of our P1s, does not miss a show. Thank you. Ron Winarski, thank you, Ron, for chiming in. We appreciate the love. Easy, how are you doing out there on the West Coast? The Scrolls out there in, I want to say, San Diego. Nicole Johnson, thank you, Nicole Johnson, for chiming in. We appreciate you. Let's see, we're back and forth between the chat was. Listen, my man Sivius R. Dixon, this is just for you. Go Cubs, go! Because baby, that's all we got. So definitely go Cubs, go! Because I need something to root for in Chicago, man. Like, he's just man. Yeah, we were talking about the Italian Beast. I'm a Freddy's guy. Skip Al, skip all them. I'm a Freddy's guy, but that's another story.
Hey, Freddy's got good food too.
Freddy's is fine.
Yeah.
Freddy's is fine. Yeah. Freddy's is. A lot of people don't know about Freddy's. Tell them, T. A lot of people don't know about Freddy's.
No, they don't. But they mainly be out in the suburbs.
True, but it's one right there on like 31st and something, going towards that way. Not too far from the park. Ant Stewart, one of our CCP members. Thank you for chiming in, Ant. We appreciate the love. And let's see. Are we winding down? And that's about it. And shout out to anybody, any family that we have out there watching. Anybody that's watching and decided not to say anything in the chat. We will always encourage you all to say something in the chat, especially when we get ready to have fan appreciation. There was a gentleman last week named Melon Smasher. I want to give a shout out to Melon Smasher because when I tell you Melon Smasher was talking from top to bottom, the whole show, that's what we want. So please come on and interact with us. We'd love to have you on Fan Appreciation Day. Come on, get on these lovely little squares that we got out here and speak your piece. Speak your piece. It's all about you guys anyway. It wouldn't be a show if we didn't have you guys to look for us, listen to us. Yes, Scrolls. Johnny's out. Oh, John, what you know about Johnny? Johnny, that's old school right there, Johnny. Yes, shout out to Foul too. He was not able to get on the show tonight. So shout out to that brother. And shout out to SB. And Melon Smasher's Chris Foster. Nice. Thank you, Scrolls.
Who the hell is Chris Foster?
Somebody that a name that used to pop up on the on the chat a while back.
What up, Chris?
But if we only got one person watching, you know who that person is. She chats early, she chats mid, she chats
mom.
Podcast mom.
The mom.
Bottom home. Love you, lady.
All right. So.
Hey, Commish, please put Bears comment on the screen, dude. Holy shit. I actually just watched this movie yesterday, too.
Oh,
Damn.
I just watched that movie the other day too, man. That is such a great movie. Wow. Holy.
Are y'all really tripping over $400 for floor seats? Like, what the hell are we talking about right now?
Dude, the Chicago Sky? No, man. No.
That's like me going to a AAA hockey game and paying $400.
Hey, the price is the price, though, fellas. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I guarantee you they're selling it because of Escape Clark and Angel Reese.
And I guarantee you, here's the thing. We talking about the $400 to $500 for that ticket, and I guarantee there are people right now bidding more.
Well, I guarantee
they want to be seen.
Probably.
People just want to be seen.
I ain't that motherfucking
Not
person.
me.
First of all, I don't give a damn about being outside. Outside is overrated any old way. But there's people that will pay that, so might as well get your bread, right?
No, I mean, it's smart on their part because if anyone's going to overpay for a ticket, it's going to be that game.
And I'm not mad at them.
All right. So moving right along, shout out to Mr. George Ofman. Thank you for taking your time to come on here and drop some knowledge and wisdom. Tell a few stories. Well, man, we need more stories. So we got to get him back on probably during the season. He can give us some more stories and we can read that book. And I'm sure that book will give us a lot of stories too. But big shout out to Mr. George.
He had to go get his milk and cookies.
Right, milk and cookies. That's the first thing I thought of when he said that.
It's the adult milk and cookies. Everyone knows the adult milk and cookies.
But thanks to you guys, JB and Frank the Tank, as I always say, it would be no show if it was just me, because I don't like to do all that damn talking for 2 hours. And yeah, don't nobody want to hear me for 2 hours, no way. So appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody that's on our team. You guys, Lola, Kristen, Emilio, Mr. Chicago, Easy. Who am I missing? Of course, I can't forget the super producer in the back, Crooked Fish, who took the producing game by storm. I can never just go in a show and not mention him.
Ace, don't forget about Ace.
Can't forget about Ace overseas, fighting for our country. Thank you, Ace. And who am I missing? Is that everybody?
Coach Chef.
Coach, the ladies, Jay and
Amp.
Jay and
Amp.
Seaway and Amp. Yeah, we got a loaded team, man. We got a loaded ass team. So shout out to everybody that's on our team, man. Thank you. And we are trying to take this thing to higher levels. And we need you all in the chat. We need you all to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. The Chicago Clubhouse Network is trying to skyrocket. We're trying to take this thing to another level, man. We've been at it for 4 years. And we're still going strong. Like we said earlier, we've done 100 interviews too, but probably more than that. We talked.
Getting close.
If you haven't checked it out, go to the previous episodes and check it out. We talked to Silky, Dennis McKinnon. We talked to Jim McMahon. We've talked to Kendall Gill. We talked to Nick Anderson. We talked to Marcus Liberty.
We don't got enough show, man. We don't got
Tim Hardaway.
Tim Hardaway, who I saw at the Chosen Few, by the way.
Hoping we get Michael Jordan. Can we get Michael Jordan up in?
Yeah, we can't say Michael Jordan. That's the one we can't say. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. We've not talked to them. But don't put it past us, though. I say that. Don't put it past us.
Yeah.
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that.
Don't put it past us. We just might. We just might. But shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you all for saying anything, for contributing. If you don't or you didn't, we appreciate y'all too. But you are officially alert.
L for love. Good times.
Still love.
Yeah, it's still love. We appreciate y'all. Anyway, we're putting up with our foolishness. I want to shout out Moore's Beer. Even though we don't really advertise the product no more, we don't have the commercials. I still want to shout them out. It's really good beer. Go try it out. I sound like Shaq right now. Real monotone. Go try it out. Really good beer. Go do it. But yeah, I'm about to go to Nashville tomorrow. I'm gonna try to catch up with Benny.
Oh, Benny Cunningham. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to catch up with Benny.
That's what's up.
I'm leaving to Nashville tomorrow.
Just got back from Nashville. How about that?
Yeah, man. You went to Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
That's dope. That's dope. But yeah, I'm headed there tomorrow.
Drank a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that might be just about it for my shouts, man. So
Grizz, we would love to. Help us out if you can, brother.
what was that? You
I've tried with Donovan McNabb. Don't really have a strong contact or anything with McNabb.
The funny thing about that is they all went to my high school. They were all there when I was there. I talked to Simeon. I talked to Twan. I didn't talk to Donovan, but I'm going to get them, man. They be acting funny. But I'm going to get them on here. Don't worry about it. Football season, I'll probably get Simeon. Simeon done flirted with it a couple times. Like, yeah, I'm coming. But he don't never come. Oh, wait a minute. He knows the address and everything. He went to Montgomery too.
Yeah, Grizz class of 97.
Damn, okay, Jay Grizz. All right. I feel you, bro. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna get them dudes on here, man. They be, I guess they be busy and sometimes they just flirt around with it. But I'm gonna get them on here. But yeah, I think we signing out tonight. So for my man Frank the Tank with that hawk talk, and my man JB the Stat Man, I am TNic, point guard, quarterback, whatever the hell you want to call me. And guess what? We out.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
Fuck LeBron.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
I get fouled too much. LeBron James. Vince Carter was better than LeBron James.
You're still here. It's over.